What makes the mosquito a miracle in the Quran? An Islamic and scientific reflection on Allah's infinite wisdom. Among the countless miracles of the Quran, there lies one that many people overlook, the mention of the mosquito. At first glance, such a small and seemingly insignificant insect might appear trivial, but in reality, its inclusion in the Quran represents one of the most profound examples of divine wisdom and scientific precision. The verse that mentions the mosquito stands as a timeless reminder that every creature, no matter how small, reflects the greatness of its creator, Allah Jalla Jalalu. Modern science continues to uncover layers of complexity in the mosquito, in its design, behavior, and purpose, all of which point directly toward intelligent creation. The Quran, revealed more than 1,400 years ago, referenced the mosquito with perfect accuracy and depth, long before microscopes or biology existed as sciences. This video will explore what the Quran says about mosquitoes, the miracles of the Quran and modern science, and the lessons believers can draw from this tiny yet extraordinary creature. Through this reflection, we will discover how the miracle of the mosquito in the Quran continues to convince hearts and minds of the truth and perfection of Allah's words. 1. The Quranic reference to the mosquito. The Quran mentions the mosquito explicitly in Surah Al-Baqarah. Indeed, Allah is not shy to present an example of a mosquito or what is smaller than it. As for those who have believed, they know that it is the truth from their Lord. But as for those who disbelieve, they say, what did Allah intend by this as an example? He misleads many thereby, and guides many thereby. And he misleads not except the defiantly disobedient. Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2 verse 26. When this verse was revealed, the Quraysh and other disbelievers mocked the Quran for mentioning small creatures such as ants, spiders, and bees. They thought that the mention of such insignificant beings was beneath the speech of God. However, Allah Jalla Jalalu revealed this verse to demonstrate that even the tiniest creations hold deep wisdom and are signs of His knowledge, power, and creativity. The Quran uses parables and examples to help humans understand profound truths. By mentioning something as small as a mosquito, Allah reminds mankind that His power extends to the most minute details of life. It is a direct refutation to arrogance, the idea that greatness lies only in grand or visible things. In truth, the mosquito is a living miracle, reflecting divine perfection in both form and function. Its creation, survival, and behavior carry lessons of humility, precision, and purpose. 2. Why did Allah choose the mosquito as an example? The mosquito, in its apparent insignificance, contains within it astonishing complexity. Every part of its body, every behavior, every instinct serves a purpose designed by Allah. Scientists today are only beginning to comprehend the intricacies that make this tiny insect one of the most sophisticated creatures on earth. Allah's choice of the mosquito in this verse demonstrates several divine messages. To humble human arrogance, that man, despite his intelligence, cannot create even the wing of a mosquito. Allah says, O mankind, a parable has been set forth, so listen to it carefully. Indeed, those you call upon besides Allah will never create even a fly, even if they gathered together for that purpose. And if the fly were to snatch away something from them, they could not recover it from it. Weak are the pursue and pursued. Surah Al-Hajj, chapter 22 verse 73. This verse and the example of the mosquito both serve as reminders that true power and creation belong only to Allah. To demonstrate the precision of divine creation, every creature, even the smallest, has been perfectly designed to fulfill its role in the ecosystem. To show that divine wisdom is not limited by human perception, something humans might dismiss as trivial may contain profound scientific and spiritual lessons. 3. The female mosquito and Quranic precision. One of the most striking scientific miracles of the Quran lies in the linguistic detail of the word bauda used in the verse. In Arabic, this term refers specifically to a female mosquito. Modern science has confirmed that only the female mosquito bites and feeds on blood. The male mosquito feeds on nectar and plant juices. The female requires blood as a source of protein to develop and nourish her eggs, a biological fact that was completely unknown to mankind at the time of revelation. The Quran's subtle linguistic accuracy in using the feminine form highlights the miraculous precision of divine language. It is impossible for a human being, especially one living in the 7th century without access to microscopes or entomology, to have known this detail. This discovery perfectly illustrates how the miracle of the Quran convinces not only believers, but also modern scientists who continue to encounter Quranic truths aligning with scientific discoveries. 4. Or what is smaller than it? Layers of meaning. The verse continues, or what is smaller than it, indicating that Allah's examples are not limited to the mosquito itself, but extend to even smaller organisms. Incredibly, science later discovered that mosquitoes themselves have parasites and smaller insects that feed on them. Among these are culicords and anopheles, tiny flying insects that suck blood from female mosquitoes. These were discovered only in 1922 by Dr. Frederick Wallace Edwards using a sophisticated microscope. This precise scientific reality perfectly fits the Quranic phrase, or what is smaller than it. How could a 7th century text, revealed in the desert, allude to microscopic organisms invisible to the naked eye? This is undeniable proof that the Quran is not the word of man, but of the all-knowing Creator, Allah Jalla Jalalu. Thus, the Quran, by mentioning what is smaller than it, anticipated the microscopic world centuries before its discovery. This is a direct reflection of Allah's statement in Surah Fussilat, chapter 41 verse 53. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. But is it not sufficient concerning your Lord that He is, over all things, a witness? 5. The complex anatomy of the mosquito, a miracle of design. The mosquito's body is a masterpiece of engineering. Despite being only a few millimeters long, it contains a complete set of functional systems: a digestive system, circulatory system, nervous system, sensory organs, and wings, all designed to operate with precision. The proboscis, a surgical instrument. The mosquito's mouthpart, known as the proboscis, is one of nature's most advanced microneedles. The female's proboscis contains 6 fine needles that pierce the skin without causing significant pain. It even injects an anesthetic and anticoagulant enzyme to prevent blood clotting. Modern scientists have studied the mosquito's proboscis to design painless hypodermic needles for medical use. The miracle of the mosquito in the Quran thus inspired real-world innovations centuries later. The eyes, advanced vision. Mosquitoes have 2 large compound eyes, each made up of hundreds of lenses called ommatidia. These provide them with a wide field of vision of about 149 degrees, allowing them to detect motion, light, and heat. Each lens transmits separate images to the brain, giving the mosquito an exceptional ability to navigate even in darkness, a feat beyond human engineering in such a small creature. See the senses, detection of heat and smell. Mosquitoes can detect carbon dioxide from exhaled breath up to 30 meters away. They are drawn to body heat, movement, and specific skin odors. Recent research by Boston University neuroscientist Meg Younger found that skin bacteria play a role in producing odors that attract mosquitoes, meaning the variation in human skin microbiomes determines who gets bitten more often. This complex sensory network, combining smell, heat, vision, and chemistry, showcases design far too advanced for chance evolution. It is a sign of Allah's perfect creation. He who perfected everything which He created and began the creation of man from clay. Surah As-Sajdah, chapter 32 verse 7. 6. The mosquito's role in the ecosystem. Though humans often see mosquitoes as harmful, Allah created them with purpose and balance in nature. Male mosquitoes, which do not bite, help pollinate plants by feeding on nectar. Mosquito larvae also serve as a crucial food source for fish and other aquatic animals. Even diseases caused by mosquitoes remind humanity of its dependence on Allah and the fragility of human life. Without divine protection, even the smallest insect can overpower the mightiest king, as illustrated in the story of Nimrod. 7. The story of Nimrod and the mosquito. One of the most powerful historical examples demonstrating Allah's might through a mosquito is the story of Nimrod, the arrogant king who claimed to be divine. When Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him, called him to worship Allah alone, Nimrod argued arrogantly, saying he could give life and death. To humble him, Allah sent a tiny mosquito that entered through his nose and reached his brain. The pain was so unbearable that Nimrod would have his soldiers strike his head to ease the torment until he finally died, defeated by one of the smallest creatures on earth. This story serves as a timeless lesson that no power on earth can rival the power of Allah. He can destroy a tyrant not with armies or storms, but with a single mosquito. And never think that Allah is unaware of what the wrongdeeds do. He only delays them for a day when eyes will stare in horror. Surah Ibrahim, chapter 14 verse 42. 8. The mosquito and human health, a divine warning. Modern science acknowledges the mosquito as the deadliest animal on Earth, responsible for over 700,000 to 1 million human deaths annually through diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, yellow fever, and Zika virus. This should not only be seen as a biological fact, but as a reminder of divine power and the necessity of gratitude and humility. The same creature that weighs less than a feather can bring the mightiest nations to their knees. Allah uses His creation to test, warn, and awaken mankind from heedlessness. These tiny insects remind us that life and death are not in our control. They are in the hands of Al-Muhayyi, the giver of life, and Al-Mumit, the taker of life. 9. The mosquito as a sign of divine knowledge. The mosquito embodies countless biological marvels. Its wings beat over 600 times per second. It navigates using thermal, chemical, and visual signals simultaneously. Its lifespan, reproduction, and feeding cycles are precisely regulated. It maintains a perfect balance in ecosystems. Each of these characteristics points to deliberate, purposeful creation. The Quran invites believers to reflect on such signs. And in your own selves, do you not see? Surah Ad-Dariyat, chapter 51 verse 21. And of His signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth and the living creatures He has dispersed throughout them. And He is competent to gather them whenever He wills. Surah Ash-Shura, chapter 42 verse 29. Through reflection on the mosquito, believers increase in awe, gratitude, and submission to Allah's will. 10. Lessons from the miracle of the mosquito. The mosquito teaches profound spiritual and moral lessons to mankind. Humility. Even the smallest creature can overpower a human being. Arrogance has no place before the Creator. Reflection. Everything in creation carries divine wisdom. Gratitude. We must thank Allah for His protection from diseases and harm. Faith. The harmony between Quranic statements and modern discoveries strengthens belief in the divine origin of the Quran. Balance. Allah created everything with purpose and proportion, reminding us of the balance, mizan, in the universe. Indeed, all things we created with predestination. Surah Al-Qamar, chapter 54 verse 49. 11. The Prophet's guidance and protection from harm. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us to seek Allah's protection from all forms of evil, including diseases and harmful creatures. One of the dua he recited was, I seek refuge in the perfect words of Allah from the evil of what He has created. Sahih Muslim, 2708. This simple yet powerful supplication serves as a reminder that only Allah can protect us, even from the tiniest dangers. 12. Miracles of the Quran and modern science. The miracles of the Quran and modern science continue to emerge as researchers uncover new layers of biological and environmental complexity. The scientific miracles of the Quran regarding the mosquito are not isolated. They are part of a grand system of science covering cosmology, embryology, geology, and more. From the female mosquito revelation to the mention of smaller parasites, and from the precision of its anatomy to its behavioral patterns, the Quran presents knowledge that surpasses human understanding. These are not coincidences, they are proofs of divine revelation. Will they not then reflect on the Quran? If it had been from other than Allah, they would have found within it much contradiction. Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4 verse 82. Conclusion. The miracle of the mosquito in the Quran is both a scientific and spiritual testament to Allah's infinite knowledge and creative power. What many regard as an insignificant insect is, in truth, a living sign of divine precision, mercy, and majesty. From the mention of the female mosquito to the phrase, "Oh, what is smaller than it?" the Quran revealed truths that would not be discovered until more than 1,000 years later. This harmony between revelation and science confirms that the Quran is not the word of man, but the word of Allah, the Lord of all worlds. As believers, we must reflect on such verses, not merely as scientific wonders, but as reminders of our Creator's greatness. Whether we look into the vastness of the galaxies or the minuteness of a mosquito, the signs of Allah surround us. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, are signs for those of understanding. Surah Al-Imran, Chapter 3, verse 190. May Allah increase us in knowledge, faith, and gratitude, and may He protect us from the evil of all that He has created. Blessed is Allah, the best of creators. Surah Al-Mu'minun, Chapter 23, verse 14.